What if I told you that two men who lived centuries apart, one a Chinese general and the other an Italian political thinker, still hold the keys to winning in today's world, whether it's business, politics, or even personal life? The principles of Sun Tzu and Machiavelli can give you the edge. Most people stumble through challenges with emotion, impulse, and reaction, but strategists, they see the bigger picture. They appreciate, they influence outcomes before the game even begins. Today, we are going to break down how to think like a true strategist, pulling timeless lessons from Sun Tzu's The Art of the War and Machiavelli's The Prince, and translating them into moves you can use right now. Sun Tzu famously wrote, "Every battle is won before it's fought." What does that mean? It means preparation, intelligence, and foresight are more powerful than brute strength. In ancient China, Sun Tzu studied his enemies, the terrain, the morale of his troops. He calculated before striking. In Renaissance Italy, Machiavelli echoed this when he advised rulers to anticipate political tides, alliances, and betrayals long before they happened. Modern application. Think of Elon Musk before launching Tesla. He didn't just build a car, he studied the future of energy, government subsidies, and cultural trends. He saw the battlefield 10 years ahead. Takeaway for you here. Don't just react, map the terrain, the competition, the people. The strategist wins before the first move is made. Machiavelli argued in The Prince, "It is not necessary to be good, but to appear good." He wasn't encouraging dishonesty for his own sake. He was pointing out that perception shapes power. Sun Tzu also said, "Appear weak when you are strong and strong when you're weak." Both men understood that appearances can mislead opponents and give you leverage. Modern application. Apple mastered this. Their marketing creates an aura of exclusivity and simplicity. Even when competitors release stronger hardware, Apple shapes perception so powerfully that people still line up for their products. Takeaway for you is the strategist knows that people don't act on objective truth. They act on what they believe. Influence that belief, and you influence the outcome. Sun Tzu wrote, "Speed is the essence of war. Take advantage of the enemy's unpreparedness." He emphasized striking at the exact right moment, not too early, not too late. Machiavelli, meanwhile, taught that fortune favors the bold. He described fortuna as the river that floods unpredictably. To succeed, leaders must be both cautious and daring, and ready to seize opportunity the moment it appears. Here's the modern application. Netflix didn't invent streaming, but they moved aggressively when broadband internet reached critical mass. Blockbuster, on the other side, hesitated. The rest is history. Takeaway for you is the strategist treats timing as a weapon. Preparation plus decisive action at the right moment creates unstoppable momentum. Both Sun Tzu and Machiavelli understood the psychology of division. Sun Tzu, if your opponent is united, divide them. Machiavelli, a wise ruler should foster divisions amongst his subjects. This wasn't cruelty, it was a cold strategy. A divided opponent wastes energy fighting within, leaving you free to move. Modern application. Look at politics today. Smart campaigns don't just push their message, they fragment the opposition space. In business, companies might buy up patents or partner with competitors to fracture the market. Here's a takeaway for you. Unity is strength. Disunity is a weakness. A strategist knows how to sow confusion in rivals while keeping their own side aligned. Sun Tzu wrote, "Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground." In other words, the strategy must adapt to reality, not the other way around. Machiavelli echoed this. Rulers who cling rigidly to old methods fail when circumstances change. The successful leader bends, shifts, and reinvents. Modern application. Kodak invented the digital camera but refused to adapt, fearing it would cannibalize film sales. They clung to old methods and ultimately vanished. Meanwhile, Amazon constantly adapts: books, retails, cloud computing, AI. Here's a takeaway for you. A strategist isn't married to one plan. He flows like water, reshaping tactics without losing sight of the ultimate goal. Perhaps Machiavelli's most famous line, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." He argued that love is fragile. People can betray you when times get hard. Fear, properly balanced, creates stability, but he also warned against cruelty that breeds hatred. Sun Tzu added another dimension to this. Leaders must inspire loyalty. Armies fight harder when they respect and love their general. Here's a modern application. Great CEOs balance both. Steve Jobs was feared for his ruthless standards, but his team also admired his vision. That duality built Apple into a global giant. Here's a takeaway for you. The strategist knows when to inspire, love, when to enforce fear, and how to balance both without tipping into weakness or tyranny. Both thinkers agreed the greatest victories happen without bloodshed. Sun Tzu, to subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. Machiavelli, manipulation, alliance, and cunning diplomacy often achieved more than open war. Modern application. In negotiations, the winner often doesn't shout the loudest. They quietly reshape the terms until the opponent believes they got a fair deal. Takeaway for you: the strategist seeks victory through influence, persuasion, and intellect, but not brute force. Sun Tzu and Machiavelli lived centuries apart, but their teachings converge on one timeless truth. Strategy is about shaping reality before others even realize the game has begun. See the battlefield, master perceptions, strike with timing, divide the opposition, adapt like water, balance fear and love, win with the mind before lifting the sword. If you learn to think this way, you stop reacting to life and start orchestrating it. Because at the end of the day, the strategist doesn't wait for the future, he builds it. If this opened your mind, make sure to subscribe to Elite Mindset with Jamal Khan, the place where ambitious thinkers sharpen their edge. Drop a comment with which lesson hit you the hardest, and share this with someone who wants to think smarter, not just work harder. Together, let's master the art of strategy. Signing off, Jamal Khan, and I'll see you soon.